I want to get Lewis to this incredible story of the Jewish doctor in Germany who has refused to operate on a Nazi patient. And my question, which we have on davidpakman.com right now, and I will ask Lewis, and I will comment on, is, was the doctor right to do what he did? This is a very simple story. A Jewish doctor in Paderborn has walked out of a surgery after discovering a Nazi tattoo on the arm of a patient. Okay. There was a 36-year-old man who needed an operation. He was tattooed with the image of the Reichsadler, or Imperial Eagle, perched upon a swastika. This is according to the Daily Bild newspaper. The patient's 46-year-old doctor said he could not reconcile proceeding with the surgery with his conscience, the paper reported. "I will not operate on your husband," the doctor told the man's wife. "I'm Jewish." The doctor then had a different physician finish the procedure. This is all according to this newspaper article. Now, since the end of World War II, the public display of a lot of these symbols, you know, the swastika, the imperial eagle, has been forbidden in Germany. And you can actually get prison time up to 3 years for having these types of things. The eagle, which was a German national symbol before the Third Reich, is now called the Bundesadler. So a couple of different things here. And Lewis, I know you're dying to get in on this. There's the Hippocratic Oath, which some people are saying has been violated by the doctor in not performing the surgery. There is just common sense. I mean, what's your initial reaction about what is right here?
I think he should have done the surgery.
You think he should have done it?
Yes.
Why?
I think he should have done the surgery and then told the man he was Jewish, and perhaps that would have changed his mind about things.
You know, before I started researching this, I actually agreed with you. I said, you know what? He should be, if I were him, I would be the bigger man. I am the doctor here. I am the one who has agreed to treat people and to do no harm, so on and so forth. I'm going to do it. But then I started thinking, well, first of all, is there anything against the Hippocratic Oath from what he actually did? And I looked up the Hippocratic Oath. I actually don't see anything there that the doctor violated by not performing the surgery there. I read through the full text of it, and I just didn't find anything. Now, some people have different modern interpretations of the Hippocratic Oath and, you know, kind of a conventional wisdom of what is and isn't included in that. And, well, sure, if we're going to just open it up to people's interpretation, maybe. I don't actually know of anything in there that was violated by the doctor. So I said, okay, I'll eliminate that. What else can I use here to determine whether this was right or wrong? I actually think the doctor was not wrong, but not for the reason you might think. Not because, as people know who watch this show, I like to criticize Nazis and racists and homophobes and so on and so forth. That is not why. I actually believe that regardless of what the patient had on his arm, he was entitled to the best procedure that he could possibly get. And it became clear, once the doctor saw what was on the man's arm, that the doctor was emotionally involved. He arguably was distraught. He was certainly upset. And for the safety of the patient, the doctor did the right thing, because we don't know that he would have been able to perform up to his standard the surgical procedure that was at hand.
That's quite the conclusion you've come to.
Is that far-fetched?
It is.
Why is that far-fetched?
I mean, it's a doctor. He does surgery like this all the time, I'm assuming. He does it for a living. I don't think...
Nothing would belittle? Okay, if it was... Hold on a second, Lewis. If the doctor were to be expected to operate on his own mother, that's a common situation where you would bring in someone else, is it not?
If I put myself in those shoes, I'd probably say to myself, I could do the best job here. I want to do this. I don't want to put the blame on anyone else if something goes wrong.
But answer the question, Lewis. Is it reasonable?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm telling you that happens often.
Okay.
So is that reasonable?
Sure.
Because of what? Emotional involvement?
Okay.
Do you agree? I feel like
I agree.
You're about to read me the riot act here.
No, I agree.
Okay.
But this man wasn't a family member.
Hold on a second. Let's say the doctor's mother was killed in a concentration camp in the Holocaust.
Okay.
Would the effect of seeing that now be legitimate in terms of saying, you know what? I don't think I can, I think I can't get past this. This is affecting me in a way that brings back a traumatic experience. Would that be reasonable?
It's perfectly possible.
So then how do we know? What do we don't know anything about this doctor. What we do know is that it was offensive enough for him to decide not to do it. And to me, to force a doctor to do that would not be smart, and I actually believe the doctor made the right decision here. He was putting the patient at risk. The patient should be glad that the doctor decided not to perform the procedure.
You could be right. I don't think so, but you could be right.
We'll open it up to our audience. DavidPakman.com. Was the Jewish doctor in Germany wrong for refusing to operate on a patient with a Nazi tattoo? Log on to DavidPakman.com. We'll have results next week. And later on in today's show, results from last week's poll. We'll take a break. DavidPakman.com is the website. 1 week left in the membership drive, and then the iPad is given away. We'll be back after this.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
The David Pakman Show is made possible by listeners like you and by Greenfield Savings Bank, building a strong community one account at a time, with neighborhood offices in Greenfield, Amherst, Conway, Shelburne Falls, South Deerfield, and Turners Falls, and online at greenfieldsavings.com. By the Daily Hampshire Gazette and GazetteNet.com, connecting our communities with local news and information. By DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. Find out more about underwriting The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.